So you wrote an article in the Daily Maverick about this, and a lot of people, while reading it, would be shocked to learn that 1 in 4 children are actually abused, and even sexually, by a female. The fact that we don't discuss this, how does that even affect the children? The fact that we don't confront this problem.
Yes, I think that's a very important question. In fact, the statistics might be even higher because we know this is a crime which is vastly underreported. And one study which particularly focused on boys who'd been sexually abused by women suggested that it might be as high as over 40% of the boys who were being abused by women. But I do think it is something that we don't talk about. We have this idea that women do not sexually abuse children. And so that it's always hard for children to come forward anyway to talk about sexual abuse. But it's even harder when their perpetrator is a female.
Yes. So, some people, and I just want you to answer those people who are thinking, if it's a boy and the abuser was female, how is it biologically possible? There are people who ask those questions.
Of course.
Even though, of course, the definition of rape was changed legally in the criminal justice system, and even in the Criminal Act. It does say that it's not only penetration anymore.
That's right.
So I just want you to speak to those whose perception still remains, no, but how is that biologically possible?
So I think, this is a concern, and it's one of the reasons why particularly teenage boys often don't come forward. And here's the problem, is that in many cases, particularly with child sexual abuse, we see a very careful process of grooming of children. So it's not a violent rape. It is something where the child is coerced and their boundaries are brought down, and they are brought to the place where they end up having sexual intercourse without necessarily consenting to it in the way that we would understand consent. So just because they were biologically present and they would, we understand bodies, we get aroused when there is sexual contact, but that doesn't mean that the child was consenting.